Order in the court. Be seated.
It's time for Talk Law Radio with Todd Marquardt. Todd Marquardt, attorney at law in Texas. If you're a millionaire or a thousandaire, Talk Law Radio is now on the air. Call in with your business law question, your elder law question, veteran aid, Medicaid, build a business to get paid. 210-308-8867. Or ask a question online at marquardtlawfirm.com. That's MARQUARDT lawfirm.com. And now it's Talk Law Radio with Todd Marquardt.
Wow, look at all those records. That's awesome.
How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm excited.
Good. I'm Sandy.
Yeah, we met back at the summit. You met everybody there though, so it's probably hard to remember everybody.
Are you a Vistage member?
Yes.
And what company you are affiliated with in regard to Vistage?
My law firm, Marquardt Law Firm.
I see. Okay. And what kind of law do you practice?
Business law and estate planning, like wills and trusts.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's why
I guess the tech is working then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for jumping on early.
Okay, no problem.
I got your book here. Got my drumsticks.
Awesome.
So I'm going to be talking a lot about your book. Hopefully we can get you some book sales from your website.
Good. That'll be great.
Yeah, and then I read in the book that you did some teaching about business law.
Yeah, in regard to the music business.
Music business, right. And so that sparked a question in me that have you ever seen that new Elvis movie?
Yes, I have. I watched it on a plane recently.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks played the bad manager.
He was very bad, and I think there's a lot more to him, Colonel Parker, than that movie let on.
Did you experience that or know anybody that had a bad manager?
Well, you know what? When you say bad manager, that's a matter of degrees.
Okay.
You know, I've had a bad manager, but it's nowhere to the extent of Colonel Tom Parker. But yeah, I've had, you know, especially the further back you go in the music business, especially in the 50s and 60s, there was unscrupulous management everywhere. Mm-hmm. And they far outweighed the legitimate ones. But then as time went on and musicians got more aware of what they're signing and you know, were told to pay attention before they put their name on a contract or an agreement, it's gotten better nowadays with modern technology, and we were able to vet people online to see their background and, you know, how other people felt about dealing with, you know, there's a checks and balances now, with the advent of technology that we didn't have in the 50s. And, you know, so yeah, I've dealt with some bad managers that, you know, ripped me off, didn't pay me for certain things, and then you couldn't find them and things like that. But nothing as bad as like Bo Diddley had to put up with, and a lot of the 50s artists that signed they were poor, very poor artists, and they just signed any contract that was put in front of them. Hey, Todd, just a quick question. Is it at all possible, is this going out live right at 11 Central, or is it being pre-recorded to put out live later?
It's going to be live on the radio, but recorded for video.
I see. Okay, that's fine, because I was going to suggest if we can go a little bit earlier, that would be awesome. But
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I agree to 11, and we're good. And how long does it usually last if it starts at 11?
An hour till 12.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay. I know you're probably super busy. It's a Saturday and everything.
Well, yeah, and we just got back from Malaysia a few days ago, so you know, things are sort of in a state of flux around here. So
right.
We're having company over for the weekend, so it's just there's a beehive of activity going on.
Okay.
But it's I'm here to fulfill my agreement, as your law firm likes to hear all the time.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that has impressed me most about you is, I think it was on page 98 of the book. You said something about never get too big to where you don't. Well, let me look at my outline here so that I can quote you.
Okay.
About relationships. I've never forgotten to be thankful for the opportunity to be famous. That's just awesome.
Right. Well, that's the truth.
Yeah, your whole story.
It's the truth. It's the opportunities. I had no idea that it would manifest. And that just leaves me to be grateful every single day when I wake up in the morning.
So when I'm a famous nationally syndicated radio host, I'll do the same.
Well, listen. It's been said that if you wake up in the morning being appreciative of the gifts that you've been given, it's impossible to be depressed at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
You start your day with a sense of appreciation. Listen, you have your name on a shingle outside of a law firm. Mm-hmm. How many young lawyers going through or just starting law school would love to be able to, have that vision in mind, but for that to be a reality, that you have your own law firm and your own podcast and your own radio show and
right.
Whatever. So, it's easy to be self-defeating. But when you think about the pluses in your life and in my life, it's very easy to forget about the negative stuff that's going on.
That's right. Now, this is a Christian radio station, and so you can talk freely about your faith. That's one of the letters and beats is your belief.
Correct.
So you can talk about that.
Very good. That'll be awesome.
And then at the end of the show, when we talk about legacy, I want to focus on, whatever you want to talk about, but I've seen a theme of how you want to transform people's lives, and you're unique. I talk to everybody about their legacy every single day, and there's not many people like you that want to transform people's lives. It's awesome.
It's so simple. The principle is really, really simple. That whole Beats principle is really, really simple. But a lot of, it's surprising how many people just either look past it or they want to do everything on their own and think they're the master of the universe. And it's the world according to them, where if they just think outside, they keep thinking within instead of thinking outside yourself and how you can make other people's lives better. And that mindset makes your life better.
Yeah.
It's, whatever you send out comes back. We're doing the interview now. You're getting some bonus footage right now. You know that.
Well, I just want to give you a heads up of what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm totally open to talk about. You can broach any subject at all. And I'm cool with it.
Is there someone in the music industry that you think is just a saint, that they help everybody?
Well, saint is kind of a strong word. But yeah, there are many legitimate, quote unquote, legitimate artists that appreciate their bands and appreciate their fans and are totally cognizant of the fact that their income and their lifestyle and their opulent lifestyle and their cars and their houses and whatever all comes from the fans. And there are artists like Billy Joel and Springsteen and Bono and, McCartney. It's the artists that really care for their bands and care for their fans. And those are the artists that are in the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Famers that I've had the pleasure of working with, like Bo Diddley and and Joan Jett and Johnny Winter all care about their band. They all have that in common, but they care about the people that buy their tickets.
That's
now, is that brain surgery to feel that way? But there are a lot of artists that don't feel that way.
Right.
That get away from me. They have security around them 24/7. Leave me alone. They live on the lofty top of the mountain and they don't want to be bothered. But I don't get it. I don't get it at all. You know, I don't walk around with a sandwich board on my back going, hey, I played with this one. I'm this one, thinking I'm any better than any other human being. It's just what I say in my presentation. I might have said it at San Antonio, but I treat my roadie the same way I treat the person whose name was on the marquee. I treat the janitor the same way I treat the CEO of the company. You know, everybody is basically on the same level because we all have that God-given soul in front of us, inside of us. Amen. And that's what makes us all the same, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, it makes us all the same. The guy playing guitar on the sidewalk, hoping they throw quarters in his guitar case, is the same as Paul McCartney playing for 100,000 people in a festival in Brazil. At the end of the day, those two people are the same.
Thank you for listening to a special pre-show conversation with the rock and roll thought leader, world-class speaker, and drummer, Sandy Gennaro. He has recorded and toured with many musical artists, including Blackjack, The Monkees, Pat Travers, Cyndi Lauper, and Joan Jett. Up next is a portion of the main interview between host Todd Marquardt and Sandy Gennaro. You can listen to the whole interview on YouTube at Talk Law Radio. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And now, a conversation with Sandy Gennaro about the music business and more.
Today, we're going to be talking with Sandy Gennaro, a world-class speaker, drummer who has recorded and toured with several globally known artists, including 3 members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame during his career that spans 52 years and continues today. Now it's time to discover your legal issue blind spots by listening to me talk about the law on the radio. But before we continue, let's begin with a prayer. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the gifts and blessings that you give to us. Please forgive us for our sins, for our mistakes, for doing the wrong thing or failing to follow your will. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to talk about the law on the radio. Please help Sandy Gennaro and me give good information about hidden legal issues in business and beating the odds in life. Help us to use the gifts and talents you have provided for the good of your people, for our own good, and for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. So I met Sandy Gennaro at a business summit called Vistage. Sandy was the keynote speaker this past April here in San Antonio. Vistage is an organization that facilitates peer advisory, group advice, one-to-one executive coaching, industry networks, and exclusive events. So, like I said before, Sandy Gennaro is a speaker and drummer. He's played with artists such as Cyndi Lauper, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, the Monkees, Bo Diddley, Johnny Winter, Montrose, the Pat Travers Band, Mark Farner, Benny Mardones, and Robin Gibb. They have all successfully experienced Sandy's expertise in the recording studio and on stage. Sandy's also transformed lives as a senior faculty member on the Collective NYC for 27 years, enabling musicians to perfect their craft and educating them on the business of music, the curriculum of which he created. Sandy now uses the lessons he's learned surviving the murky, shark-infested waters of the music business to help organizations large and small identify and offer solutions to issues regarding leadership, change management, employee retention, longevity, motivated engagement, customer service, brand loyalty, team building, and sales. He has helped businesses and student bodies create a thriving culture as a launching pad for heightened success in business, relationships, and life. He incorporates his unforgettable stories to drive home his proven concepts to create rock star performance in every arena. Companies, universities such as FedEx, Belmont University Pacific Hotel Management, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, Keller Williams, Southeast Business Forum, New Era Health and Life, National Association of Sales Professionals, Journey Team, Optimum Solutions, the Women's Council of Realtors, the Collective NYC, CBS Telecom, Montgomery College, SAE Institute have all energized and motivated by Sandy's interactive and high-energy Beat the Odds presentation. So without further ado, Sandy Gennaro, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Todd. I appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate your time, and the only reason I was able to have the confidence and courage to ask you to do this is because of your presentation at Vistage. You said that I could accomplish anything I could put my mind to it, and I said I want Sandy on my show.
It never hurts to ask any question.
That's right. So thank you so much for joining me, and I want to talk about your book and how to beat the odds in business and in life. And so give us an introduction about how to do that, and then we'll get right into the letters there.
Well, how to beat the odds. Well, basically, you talk about the acronym. The acronym is BELIEF. It's BEATS, BEATS. And I come to the realization that in addition to playing beats on a drum set for over a half a century, I've been living these principles day in and day out, 24/7, 365. And the acronym stands for BELIEF, for B. E is enthusiasm. A is attitude. T is tenacity. And S is service to others. And basically, it's a combination of you applying those principles and weaving those principles into your fabric of your everyday life. And not because you want to get something for yourself. It's because you want to help other people. And thinking about the belief, enthusiasm, attitude, tenacity, and service in a positive mindset. That's how basically it's very, very simple, but a lot of people don't recognize the simplicity of how to basically live your life and how to beat the odds in business and in life.
Life can be hard sometimes, right?
Life can be very hard sometimes, but where there's breath, there's hope. And, I firmly believe that no matter how difficult a person's circumstances are, there are ways out of it. There's always tomorrow. The sun will come up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And, it hurts when I see people actually lose hope to the state of, to the extent of being totally 100% depressed, and especially when it gets to the extent of wanting to hurt yourself or end your life. It's very disheartening to see someone go through that. And, aside from any physical, mental dysfunction, from a mental medical standpoint, that person is challenged in a certain way physically. If it's all just mental, it could be turned around, and I got in a Vistage meeting one time, somebody that works for a nonprofit in a ghetto somewhere and deals with underprivileged kids. And she came up to me in a break and she said, Sandy, you're very positive outlook, but, it's easy for you. In essence, I'm paraphrasing what she said. In essence, she said, Sandy, with your life and you're on big stages and, you have a nice house, and it's easy for you to say that anybody can overcome their difficulties, but you haven't had many difficulties. And, and I told her, it's all relative, but, there are people that are born in the ghetto to crack addicted mothers and who don't know who their father is. And they go out of their tenement apartment with roaches and rats infested apartment, and they go on the street and it's full of drugs and people doing drugs and having guns and all of that. But a person in that situation, and history will bear me out, and the internet will bear me out. Well, people in that position have gone on to be senators, have gone on to be surgeons,
Right.
And then you get the kid looking in, being a child of two doctors, for example, or two wealthy lawyers, for example, that live in a great house, that the parents are addicted to this drug or not that drug or whatever. And the kid ends up being inundated with just financial support. They get anything they want or whatever, and they end up being addicted to drugs, or they end up being convicted of this or that.
It could happen either way.
It could happen either way. That's a long way of putting it, but I mean, how I described it is a long-winded way to put it. But no matter what your circumstances, if you're not afflicted physically, you can't control that. But if it's just a mental situation, a mental depression, there are ways out of it. If you have a breath in your body, there are ways out of it, and there are ways to get help if you take the initiative of trying to get help. I can go on and fill the hour with that, but I think that life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I think that that people we were given, God gave us. God does not give us any problem that He's already given us the wherewithal to overcome that problem.
Amen.
And it's just a test for us to see how bad we want the goal that we want.
We got to take a break, Sandy. We'll be right back.
Okay, thanks.
1 minute.
You plan your summer vacation because you want to make sure everything goes right? But have you planned for your estate? Why would you spend time and money planning your vacation but neglect your final affairs? None of us are guaranteed tomorrow, but you can make sure everything goes right by planning for your death and taxes. The attorneys at Marquardt Law Firm can help. They can focus on business and estate law, including last wills, living trusts, and tax-protected inheritance plans. Call 210-530-4278, 210-530-4278, or marquardtlawfirm.com.
9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, talking with Sandy Gennaro, and I want to mention our other sponsor, Financial Planning HQ. If you're looking for true financial planning to help you make the best decisions about your money, instead of trying to sell you overly complicated financial products, Financial Planning HQ can focus on creating a comprehensive strategy that gives you and your family the highest probability of achieving your goals. For a complimentary consultation with Joseph Warren from Financial Planning HQ, call 210-748-6699. Welcome back, Sandy.
Thank you very much, Todd.
Let's talk about the B in BEATS. Stands for belief. Tell us about belief in what?
Belief in a power greater than ourselves at work, in our lives, and I happen to call it a bit of God energy that we have inside. When human beings were born, we were born with a little bit of God energy inside of us, and people refer to it as a soul. And that's, in my estimation, that's what makes all human beings on the same level. Whether you live on a mansion and you're a billionaire, or you're a janitor somewhere, everybody deserves the same amount of respect because we have that element of commonality. No matter what country we live in, no matter what color of our skin, no matter what our sexual preferences, no matter what our political preferences, we can all agree to disagree. And everybody has, by nature of definition, if we call ourselves a human being, we have a little bit of that God energy. But we're also given the power of choice, and we're also given the power of free will to choose what we want to believe in, to choose how we want to act, to choose our mental the perception of things that happen to us. So, but a lot of people on this planet, and all you have to do is watch the news, they don't always subscribe to the God energy. When you're in league with the God energy, and to me, in all honesty, in going, being full disclosure, I don't believe that any one particular religion let me put it this way. It's been said to me by some staunch radical religious people, well, if you don't belong to this religion, you're doomed. And I don't believe in that. I believe that all different religions on this planet all have a figure of a God energy. So to me, it's like having several different routes to the same destination.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hear the rest of Sandy Gennaro's interview, search YouTube for Talk Law Radio and look for the Lady Justice logo in the red, white, and blue colors. Remember to hit like and subscribe for all the latest. And thank you for listening to Talk Law Radio.